The phone rang while I was tightening a bolt I didn't need to tighten. Hospitals always call like that, measured. Rehearsed, already braced for your collapse. Your son is in the ER. No details, no mercy. I drove on instinct, not memory. Red lights bent around me like apologies. When I reached him, the room smelled of antiseptic and broken futures. Machines spoke for him. His leg was a scaffold of metal and white. His face, my face, was swollen into something unrecognizable. He opened one eye. "Dad," he said. The word landed heavier than the diagnosis. I asked what happened. Calm voice. The kind I use in meetings when someone lies. He swallowed, winced. "I got home," he said. "Mom's boss was in your bedroom. Doing her." The room tilted. Not dramatically, precisely. "I told him to leave," my son continued. His security guards didn't like that. A pause, a breath that hurt him. "They're still at home." I nodded like he'd told me the weather. I squeezed his hand. I left. I didn't feel rage yet. Rage is loud. This was arithmetic. Years aligning into a sum that finally made sense. The late nights. The new perfume. The way she stopped using my name and started using silence. In the parking garage, I opened the trunk and looked at the Magnum. I didn't touch it. I didn't need to. It was enough to know it was there. Weight without movement. Control without chaos. I closed the trunk and drove home. The house was quiet in the way lies prefer. Shoes by the door that weren't mine. A jacket draped over a chair like it owned the place. I walked room to room, cataloging betrayal. Each object testified calmly. I didn't confront anyone. I watched. I watched my wife cry into her phone when she thought I couldn't hear. I watched the boss's car disappear at dawn, like a coward with a schedule. I watched myself become invisible. I pulled phone records. Shared plans tell you more than shared beds. I checked security footage, our system, installed by me, maintained by me. I copied everything. Timestamps, license plates, faces avoiding cameras they didn't know existed. At work, I smiled. At the hospital, I promised my son everything would be handled. He believed me. He knows my voice. The truth came together quietly. Contracts my wife signed without reading, an apartment paid for through a shell company, gifts labeled bonuses, a boss who liked ownership more than loyalty. I printed the evidence, not to savor it, to finish it. When I handed my wife the folder, I didn't sit down. I stood like a witness. She opened it. Her hands shook. "I can explain," she said. When I handed my wife the folder, I didn't sit down. I stood like a witness. She opened it. Her hands shook. "I can explain," she said. "I know," I replied. "That's what the folder is for." She cried, begged, reached for history like it was a life raft. I stayed still. Composure is cruel when you've earned it. The boss came later, confident, smiling. He saw the Magnum on the table and misread the room. "I'm not here for you," I told him. "I'm here for what you signed." I slid the second folder across. Legal notices, HR complaints, security footage, statements, the guards identified, medical reports attached. His smile died in stages. "This doesn't end well," he said. "For you," I corrected. I never raised my voice. I never touched the gun. Power doesn't need proof when truth does the work. He left with his career collapsing behind him. My wife left with nothing but explanations no one would hear. I returned to the hospital. Sat by my son. Told him it was done. He asked if I was okay. I looked at the machines. The steady honesty of numbers. "I'm clear," I said. Clarity is colder than anger. It doesn't shake. It doesn't miss. When I walked out that night, I didn't look back at the house. Some things burn without fire.